Whoa, there we go. Oh my goodness. What's going on? This is after midnight. This is like space goes coast to coast when we were little kids watching Adult Swim when we weren't supposed to be up. So my name is Milton, Creditneur, and I'm just not here to talk about business credit. Even though I know all about it, I have a proven system that can solve all your business funding and lending problems. If you don't qualify for lending, we have that resource. It works. We're netted into a network that just helps so many people in the community. So let's get to it. I just wanted to go live and test this out and make sure that everything was working. So I guess I'll just talk about some stuff today. I tried to use Angie's List today, and that didn't work out for some reason. So what I was trying to do was get somebody to help me with some chores around the house, and at the last minute they ended up canceling, and I told them just give me my money back. But that's kind of how it is in this economy nowadays right now, because there's no middle in the business world. There's just a high end that gives good customer service that charges more, and then you have a low end that gives crappy customer service and doesn't contact you back, doesn't do what you pay them for, has crappy customer service and very low prices. But there's no more middle right now, so that's part of the new economy, and it's something that needs to be fixed. But just understand that you want to be at the top. You want to be there for your customers, and also just giving excellent service and products, and just giving that one-on-one experience that they really want, need, and crave, because that's what we do here. And a lot of people are willing to pay a lot more money as long as they get that one-on-one boutique type of experience. And that's the difference between the top and the bottom economy now. So the economy, they don't really care, you're just a number, hurry up and pay, because you're not paying all that much, because it's just a bunch of cheap junk, bunch of cheap products, a bunch of cheap solutions that don't really work halfway, not the whole full way, getting anything done. So that's what happened to me. I almost canceled my membership with them, even though I don't use them all that much. Almost canceled my membership with them. And I tried to talk to somebody on Zoom, kind of ran into the same experience with them. Not Zoom, but Upwork. And I kind of ran into the same experience with them. And what happened with that was, everything was cool. We're talking and everything. And it's kind of just one way or the highway with him. And I was trying to, get him to help me on it. I didn't really understand. And it just didn't want to, granted, he's a former Marine like my brother is, and it didn't want to form a relationship. Like, I was like, oh, cool, man. What did I ask him? I didn't want to get your name wrong, so I didn't say your name at the end of the call. I just wanted to make sure I knew how to say your name. And Da 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 da. This this man done left the dang computer. It's the weekend. He do not care right now. I don't know, but I do know that that's how the new economy is. You got the cheap stuff at the bottom. Yeah, and they're doing barely anything to even get anything done, and that leaves you to have to go back and get it done yourself, even though you delegate it. So when you delegate things, you got to make sure that they get it done, because if you don't, it'll just blow up in smoke, and you'll be the one that's left on the line. And don't be paying too much for people to be doing too little either. That's another thing. So I'm just ranting and raving. Anybody want to get on and ask me any kind of motivational stuff? I'm full of the motivation. I know all about it. I live it. I love it. I read it all the time, and that's part of who I am today. It's not really a big religious thing. I think I'm more spiritual than anything else. So I don't really, I have a personal inner relationship with my higher power. So that way, I you know what I'm saying, I don't need to fall in line or have somebody to, draw a line out for me and say, oh, you better not cross this. You don't know what that means unless I tell you. So positivity, motivational, I'm all about it. I love business news without the politics, of course. So anything you guys heard in the business news, I'm here for that. I love it. And so that's some of the stuff that I'll be chiming in about, is that business news stuff. Only cool business news. I'm just not trying to fill up your brains with mindless mush. I'm sure you guys already have enough of that already with all these ads on who you should vote for. They said don't take voting too seriously, because the people you vote for aren't going to be on your bedside when you die. So that's something to think about right there. But yeah, this is a non-political zone, non-judgmental zone. We love everybody. We love everybody. We love everybody's skin tone. We love everybody's positive thinking. We love everybody. We don't discriminate here. We're here to help. We're here to help. We're here to serve. Whatever I can do. We can talk about business, credit, and financing, but that gets kind of boring. So I'm here focusing on you guys. So whatever you want to tell me, I'll just keep on going. And some things that I have to do this weekend. Well, I have to go and run a few errands around Atlanta. That's where I live, here in Atlanta. So it's always something to do. And now it's so hard to even just go across town just to get something done. It's like it takes, just to go 2 exits down. It's like it takes an hour or 30 minutes. Sometimes it can take an hour just to go two exits down or something like that. It's freaking ridiculous. But hey, this is the melting pot. People moved here during the pandemic, and they haven't moved back since. I think if things get better in the economy, then maybe they'll move, but they might stay. I listen to a lot of Clark Howard. He's a consumer expert here in Atlanta, and he talks about how people are here to stay in Atlanta, and how insurance companies look at Atlanta as a good place to not charge high rates because we're like 1,000 feet above sea level. So it doesn't really get flooded here. So insurance companies love it here for the houses, but for the cars, oh man, that's a different story. The cars in Atlanta, man. Well, the funny thing about that is that you will be paying an insurance and car payment will be more than your rent sometimes, and the car might not even be brand spanking new, and you might just be paying so much money for it. So that's the thing about that. But that's Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? I always tell people that we're the credit capital of the world because we have Equifax here, and they're the largest consumer credit bureau in the world. They're the oldest as well. That now the oldest for commercial credit bureau, and that is Duns and Bradstreet, and they do not do any consumer, but they're the oldest. Business credit is older than consumer credit, and a lot of people don't know that. And what's funny about I'll get back to the other thing in a second, but what's funny about Duns and Bradstreet is that five sitting presidents have worked at Duns and Bradstreet, including Abraham Lincoln, and he was a reporter. And so what he would do is he would go to business and record, hey, you know, these people got this and they got that, and this is how much they got left, and they'll report it back to Duns and Bradstreet. And you know, that's the kind of system that they had before computers. People would actually go out where the businesses are that owed money and stuff like that. So consumer credit is fairly new, and it's really a debt collection system. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be using your personal credit to build your business credit because it just wasn't designed to be able to do that. So I'm pretty sure maybe only 1% of the population is able to build a business using their personal credit, and they're not the same. For one, your consumer credit, it might be $1,000, $2,000, but your business credit could be $10,000 to $20,000 on a card. So that's it. That's the difference. And if you have both of them, you get to maximize your borrowing power. But back to the Equifax thing. Equifax is headquarters here in Atlanta. So the joke that I like to make is Atlanta is the consumer capital of the world. So there's a lot of people that say, you know, a lot of people here. I think that's changed, but I think back in our parents' days, Atlanta was one of those places where nobody could be somebody, and you know, that's how they would be, and unless they had somebody that knew who they were, and maybe they got exposed that way. But yeah, so I'm just here talking, trying to you know, let you guys know what's going on in the Creditneur world. So we're going to start posting out a lot more content. So I'm working on that. That's why I'm on here live, just trying to test everything out, making sure when I do go live, it posts on Instagram. Like right now, we're live on Instagram, we're live on YouTube, and we're live on Facebook. And so I don't know what's going on when I tried to do it earlier today, but I was looking back and I wasn't able to see where it had posted at. I was like, yo, where's all the hard work that I put into this? Like, it took me so long, like for so long. I think I had the wrong kind of computer. I had the MacBook, and I had to grab me a Windows, you guys. I like the MacBook. The MacBook is cool. I used to always love MacBooks because I was like, hey, I'm really into music and taking pictures and stuff like that. And I just wanted a MacBook Pro so bad when I was growing up. I was like, please, please, can anybody get me a MacBook Pro, please, man? And I could never get one. And now that I can afford to get one, it's kind of like I don't even care anymore. I guess I'm into different things now, more customer oriented, customer service oriented. So the things that I do is there to please the customer and help the customer and things like that. And that's pretty much what helps me stay motivated, is being able to help other people. So, as long as I can have more impact when it comes to doing what I need to do in the world, which I hope is helpful. But even if it's not that helpful, I think just doing your very best, even when you're not able to help as many people, doing your very best, even at that job that really doesn't have that much impact, but you gotta do it anyways, and it's helping out, but it's helping out in a non-significant kind of way, then I think just doing your very best is what's going to make the change. Because when you go from just a more meager position and into a more powerful position, or one that's higher up, then you're going to need those skills where you did in the meager position, for the new employer, or for yourself, or maybe for another set of customers that you gained access to. And so I just think that going the extra mile is really important, especially in today's world. A lot of people don't understand the value of going the extra mile, but going the extra mile is what really makes a lot of difference in your results in life. And it's all about the results. It's all about what you get done and how you get it done to get where you need to go. Because if you're not where you want to be at right now, just look at the results. What have you been getting done? So that's some stuff to think about. And we're just on here live, you know what I'm saying? So we're just going to keep it going. My name is Milton. I'm here with all your business, credit, and funding needs. I have proven systems that work for everybody who is willing to invest in their future and in their business, or that qualify. So if you don't qualify, all you have to do is invest and learn, of course. And I can help you out. I can help any US based business in these United States. You know what I'm saying? So let's get to another topic. How many of you guys out there, how many of you guys have pets? Do you love animals? I personally, I love animals, and I have a dog, and his name is Shadow, and he's amazing. And I don't have any kids, so my dog is my kid. And I'm not married right now, so I'm not in a relationship, so I got that going for me. So I think also what's going to make a difference in today's world is to be able to have that self motivation. Seems like we need that now. I always thought that if we weren't able to come together as a family unit, really as a community, the power in the people is in the community, and it's a community as a whole. And I like to think that we use the United States as somewhere where we want to be one day, because we're not always united unconditionally here. We put little stipulations on it and stuff like that, and so that's one thing that I think that we can work on is the community. That's where the power is. The love is blind community. I don't know if that came out right, but just the community and being colorblind. You know, just just being uh infinitely non-judgmental. And so what I learned, I don't know if this camera is working. Usually follows me around. But what I've learned is that one thing that was another thing that was really inspiring to me, self motivational wise, was admitting fault, like simplifying things so far down that I was like, it's not their fault, it's my fault. And knowing why it was my fault on a more fundamental level that was below even being an adult. Yeah, it was my fault. But now I am an adult and I can bridge those gaps and be anything that I want to be. I can shoot for the stars. I can become the world's richest man. I can be the world's smartest man. I can be a freaking Nobel Prize winning mathematician. But I think that's something that we hold on to. Like when we're younger, we just hold on to the past, not the past, but all those things that we thought that we that happened to us that weren't our fault at the time, and they may not have been our fault at the time. But now that we're an adult, we can bridge every shortcoming that we had when we were a child, because we're an adult now and we can fix it. And so I just feel like we just need to fix it. If you need to admit fault, but don't do it on a basis that's gonna hurt you, that's gonna bash you. Do it on a basis that is the most simplified. It might be in your childhood. That's how it was for me. And I was like, I went down to the very basics of all the levels in the childhood. And I said, you know what? It's my fault. It's my fault. It's my fault. I could have picked up that book and started reading. I could have learned how to play football or basketball better. I could have learned how to play that instrument good. I could have been a better boyfriend. It's my fault that I didn't learn how to do that. It's my fault. It's my fault. And I think just admitting that on that very basic level is what is going to prepare your self motivation, because that's what we need right now. We need self motivation. We need togetherness. We need community. We need unity, but not segregated. not segregated community. I mean, we're so divided, not just on color, but just on how we think or how, we praise the inner higher power within inside of us, um, how we decide to be in society. Uh, so I just think that we need to fight to simplify, keep things simplified. Fight to keep things simplified. Don't fight each other. Fight to keep things simplified. That's what you need to fight for. And coming together as a community, as a whole. So let's just say, we all love to celebrate Cinco de Mayo. We should be celebrating each other's differences. We should be embracing that culture. For instance, at the Olympics, they had where they were, break dancing. They were break dancing, and these, hip hop, is in the Black community. And these were people that weren't even African American, and they were just having so much fun. They were colorblind, they were just pure love. They just had one love, and that's unity. And so I just think that we just need to press the reset button as good as we can. Press that reset, that big red Staples reset button. Press it and reset as best as you can. You don't have to reset all the way. Just press it so you can go back to the fundamentals the best that you know. Everywhere. It's easy. Just go back to the best fundamentals that you know. And just rebuild from there. I think that's the best way. Because everybody's different. And our higher power within inside of us has a relationship with each and every one of us on a different level. And so, when you talk to somebody, you're just not talking to that person. You're talking to that person in the relationship that they have with inside of themselves, with their higher power. So, we're going to keep things spiritual. I'm not here to get into any religion or politics or anything like that, or any race-based things, or I don't know, whatever else isn't going to unite us as a community, because that's how we are here. I don't care what color you are. I don't care, what religion you are. I don't care, what you've been through in the past. You can get to where you want to get to right now. And that is where we are going to take it. That's where you're going with me, Milton Taylor Jr. Feel free to call me MJ. But if you have to call me 888-294-0558 or email me mjtaylor creditneur.com, CREDITNEUR. Now, hope I spelled that right. Just let it hang loose. Just talking. So, I think some good is coming. And you guys always want to remember that the economy goes the same exact way. There's pitfalls, and then there's straight up highs. And when there's a high, you want to be preparing for the fall. And when there's a fall, you want to be preparing for the high. That's what you always want to be doing, whether it's up or down. So when you're up, you better be preparing for the worst. And then when you're down, just be preparing for the absolute worst. But while you're down, be preparing for that up. And that's where we're at right now. We are preparing for that up. So, I'm here to motivate you. I'm here to educate you. I'm here to keep you informed with all the business news, all the cool trending topics uh, that make any sense. You know, I'll take you guys out in Atlanta. I'll go and let you meet the business owners around Atlanta, and I'll ask them some questions. You know, of course, I'll ask them some questions about business finance and like how do you fund your business? You know, that's one thing. Do you just use the cash flow? Do you use your personal credit to fund your business? Where does that put you at? Has that ever put you at any kind of strange positions that you wish that you never had to be put in for? Has that put your back against the wall where you had to uh, where you had to dig yourself out of a hole? I mean, that's the kind of things that I want to ask people, you know, because you know, I'm an entrepreneur, and so one thing that you'll find out the difference between an entrepreneur and a business owner is that an entrepreneur is somebody that well, let me tell you what a business owner is first. So a business owner is somebody that might have one venture that they take care of for the majority of their life. So, you know, let's say it's a barbershop. They'll run that same barbershop for 20, 30 years. For instance, my grandfather in Virginia, he had a famous body shop called Taylor's Classic Body Shop. And it's out there in Farmville, Virginia. But his shop was very famous because he knew how to, you know, fix all the classic cars and things like that. Army veteran, and he had this business for like 50 years or more. He was a business owner, you know. He was not an entrepreneur. So let me tell you what an entrepreneur is. An entrepreneur is somebody, if you gave them that one business that same business owner had, and you came back in 5 or 10 years, you would not recognize that same business because it would be pulled out in so many different directions and expansions and different product lines that it'd just be unrecognizable. And an entrepreneur is somebody who runs different ventures all at the same time, and you know, they just don't run no one thing. So their mind thinks on a multitude of levels of leverage and things of that nature and stuff like that. And let me just say, as an entrepreneur, when you're thinking like that, one thing that really helps is a plan. And I've been working with plans, and I'm not just talking about plans, business plans, or anything like that to be the business money. I'm talking about plans for your life. You know, plans for your life, because plans are very valuable. And it's something called auto suggestion. Now you get forms of auto suggestion everywhere around you in your everyday life. It might be the TV, it might be your family, it might be just, you know, watching TV, you know, anything, any kind of suggestions. Suggestions are very powerful. And so you need you do need a business plan, but you need a master plan. And that's what we're talking about, not for business, but for your life, for the direction of yourself. And the good that you do now are the gifts that you give when you can't give anymore. So a business plan, that is something, I mean, a master plan. That is something that you need. And the reason why you need that in this special position that I'm about to tell you is that you need to be reading it every day. How much money you want? When do you want to make it? What you're going to give in order to get it? That's how you write out a master plan. And so once you've done that, you're going to have to keep revisiting it. And the hard part is you'll write a really good one the first time. First time you write a complete one, it's really good. But the tough thing about it is you're going to have to keep revising it. And so what I learned, the trick with that is to write it in the present tense, I think. Write it as if it already happened, right? So if I want to be a multi-millionaire or multi-billionaire, and I'm like, I am now a 30 million, 50 billion, multi-million billionaire, and my life is great. I fly across the ocean and I live in a castle, and my family is happy, and I live in a world where I make everything I touch better. I have the opposite of the Midas touch. Everything I touch becomes better. You gotta talk like that. It's kind of like an artistic rhythm. It's like you're just painting and you're writing a poem, and you're expressing what has already been accomplished. And so that is the trick to the master plan that a lot of people won't tell you about. And I've been into Napoleon Hill and stuff like that for a long time, for about 15 years. So it takes about 10 years to become a master or something. So just, I've been doing it for 15 years, trying to test things out. And that's what Napoleon Hill will tell you in his book. He said, don't believe everything that I say. You go out and test it. And I think besides the people that don't have instant success or success right away, they don't ever go out and test it and see for themselves if it's something that they should use or not. And I really like what Bruce Lee said. He said that take in what you need and toss away what you don't. So just because you read something doesn't mean you can't take away something from it, and just because you read it doesn't mean you have to apply every single thing that you read. But you should be reading, you should be learning every day, no matter what you do. You should be learning something, even if you gotta listen to an audio book. You just need to be, creating value within yourself. And what is value? Value is what the great Jim Rohn. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Jim Rohn, but he said value is simply making something better than what you found. And so that's very beautiful to me, because when you put that value inside of you, inside of your heart, inside of your soul, inside of your mind, you set your sights straight on what you need to accomplish. Things that you need to accomplish become so small because they stay the same and you change, and you're able to trot over anything that may get in your way because they stay the same and you change. And so you need to change for the better. And the only way you're going to do that is if you create value within inside of your own self. So, like I said, I have lots of stuff to say and things like that, but the things that I have to say isn't all about business credit because I care a lot about a lot more things than just making more money and things like that. I really want to have an impact on people in their lives and on mine. And so I can't do that for you guys if I'm only talking about one thing that can get very boring. And so I want to be here on a multitude of levels. So when you see me or when you talk to me, you know that you're not just talking to somebody who just knows one thing. And that's just to make a transaction. And yeah, it just seems transactional. There's no relationship in it. And so that's what I'm here to give you guys. Relationship. Not a transactional ship. I'm not here to do that. So if that's what I had to do, I might as well just, go, cut all my expenses and stuff and go work at Burger King or, get back behind the wheel of a tractor trailer or something where I don't have to talk to nobody, So that's the thing about that. But yeah, you guys, and also just make sure that you really have impact in your life, have value in your life, add value to other people's lives. Even if they don't know what you're doing, you can add some type of value sometimes by just going the extra mile. And one thing I would say is when you're out here getting this money and stuff like that, money can't get back time or other people's time that you fail to utilize when you are out here chasing money. And you really need to hang out with your loved ones and just go and experience that bond that you had when you were younger. Maybe you don't have a family, maybe you're a boyfriend or something like that. It might be time for you to find a new set of friends. It might be time for you to go out and network. You don't have to go and join a religious organization or some secret society, but I just think going and hanging out with people, doing things that you like to do is how you can create unity in the community. I think that's very important. And I think sometimes, even me, like I was on the grind and I didn't take the time to, keep up with my family and stuff and things like that. And, luckily I've been blessed and nothing bad has happened. That's not irreversible, but it could have, before I recognized it. And, I had went back to Virginia recently where I grew up. And I grew up in the mountains of Virginia. And so the thing about that is I forgot how beautiful Virginia was. Now, I was born here in Georgia, in Atlanta, but I was raised in Virginia. So I forgot how beautiful things were, when I went up there. And so what happened was I was like, wow, everything is just so beautiful. Look at the green trees and the green grass and the clean air, the blue sky, the sun shining through, nice slow town. Everybody, loves one another. They're pretty much, what I'm saying? So, and it slowed down. It simplified things. It simplified things for me. And that really reset my mind. It reset my mind to where I was like, trading my time for money even though that's what I'm doing, isn't the only thing I know how to do. Or it shouldn't be the only thing that I know how to do. And you shouldn't let people hold that over your head. Like, hey, this is, you make good money here, and this is the only thing you know how to do. So you might as well just sit your butt down and be quiet. You don't have to do that. you know, Dig deep inside yourself and connect with that inner higher power. Now, I don't want to, throw any names because, I want you to find your relationship with your inner higher power without a book, without a group of people to tell you. What I call it is spiritual puberty. And before I had spiritual puberty, I had uh, went through a phase in my life, because my parents divorced when I was in the first grade, and my dad was so busy being a corporate uh, vice president in a big insurance company that he just didn't have the time he thought he would have to raise me uh, with any kind of insights. He set a good example and had a great environment, showed me a good work ethic, but it wasn't he wasn't setting the perfect example, the most perfect example, I guess, but it was good enough. um, but when I got out of high school, I went down to Atlanta in 2007, and you know I didn't know nothing. I'm just small town boy coming from the mountains of Virginia down here to Atlanta. Now, you know, I I had been acclimated with city life before. So it wasn't like that I was coming down here just, um, just totally mind blown. But I still didn't know anything, you guys, and I had to learn the hard way. Um, I had to I had to, even though I couldn't get good grades in community college, and I thought that I wouldn't be able to survive in real college at the time, I still had to go to the University of Hard Knocks. So I think I have a a PhD a couple times over at the University of Hard Knocks. And so that's where I graduated from, you guys. Uh, and I went through my spiritual puberty stage a couple of times over. And I think that's when you get your PhD at the University of Hard Knocks. It's when you get that spiritual puberty degree. And yeah, I couldn't stay focused. I came down here and I wanted to hang out with the fellas and paint the town red and chase all the ladies and stuff like that. I just couldn't stay focused in school. I couldn't even get out of the prerequisites, you guys, at school. And I went through the University of Hard Knocks, got my first PhD in spiritual puberty, and I wanted to go back for a trade, and you had to take a test in order to get through. And so what I did is I wanted to go in for a trade, and I had to take the aptitude test. And I studied for it, and I passed it. I passed it with flying colors. I could have just went to a 2-year degree, 4-year degree program, but I underestimated myself a little bit, and I didn't know I had graduated from the University of Hard Knocks before I attended my formal years. And so when I passed it, and I went straight to the classes, and I didn't have to take any of that stuff, you guys, and I made AB honor roll. And that was a time in my life where it was bleak. You know what I'm saying? So I had to reach. I had to reach for that inner relationship with my higher power, and it's not going to come. It is not going to come to you unless you go to it first. Okay. So if you're not going to go to it first and ask and show and prove that you're ready to become a PhD and at the University of Hard Knocks and graduate and become a real man, woman, whatever, I feel like you can be whatever you want to be, as long as you're not hurting nobody. Who cares? Who cares? You know what I'm saying? So anyways, you guys, my computer is about to die. I just wanted to get on here and just introduce myself. My name is Milton. You can feel free to call me by my nickname, MJ Taylor. MJ Taylor. Here at Creditneur.com. Creditneur.com. MJ Taylor at Creditneur.com. You can call me at 888-294-0558. 888-294-0558. Just hit me up, you guys. Anything. If you just want to call me and talk and get some advice or just talk to me, it doesn't have to be all about business. I'm here to do business with you. I love to do business with you and help you get everything you need to live your dreams. There's a joke that I like to make about the difference between how a man gives birth and how a woman gives birth. We all know how a woman gives birth, but a man gives birth through his mind. And we have these ideas, and what happens is we have these ideas, and what happens is we're able to turn nothing into something, just from thought into a tangible form of reality. And that's how men give birth. Women can do the same thing, but it's a lot more natural for men to be able to do it. And this is what I like to say about that too. Men or women, whenever you're giving birth through the mind, is what I like to say is that you need that same nurturing that you use to give birth to that kid to nurture that brainchild. Don't neglect that. Don't neglect that. That's a living, breathing thing from nothing into something. And that's where we live, you guys. This is a magical place, a magical universe. And as long as it's positive and creative and constructive, you can do anything you want to do. You can build anything you want to build. You can be whoever you want to be. And so I just want to leave you guys with that. I love you so much. And I hope to hear from you guys. I hope you guys see this. I hope you see that I am here to help. And I'm being real with you. So hope to talk to you guys soon. And hopefully we'll get on here tomorrow. All right. Thank you.